Well, here we are again on the Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. But you know what? This is a very special episode. This is our 100th episode on the Randy's Collection series right here on the Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. Can you imagine? It's been 100 episodes already. It's beyond comprehension, really, how quick time goes by. But, you know, I was saying to myself, 100 episodes. You know, I'm a TV fan. I always loved classic TV. I'm pulling out my phone here so I could tell you. Do you know the Honeymooners, the classic Honeymooners, only had 39 episodes? How is that possible? Everybody loved Ralph Cramden and Alice and Norton and all that stuff, Trixie. 39 episodes. And then I was looking into it. Do you know, Lost in Space, 83 episodes. Remember Flipper? 88 episodes. Car 54, Where Are You? Look at that. 60 episodes. Amazing. The Munsters. Now, you won't believe this. We all watch The Munsters, and we love them with Herman and Grandpa and all that. 70 episodes. The Addams Family, 64. Dragnet, 98. These are all less than 100. I mean, there's a lot of shows that have more than 100. Here's one more than 100. My favorite, Martian, 107. We're almost at that point now. Star Trek, the original Star Trek, 79 episodes. The Partridge Family. Would you believe this big hit, The Partridge Family, with Reuben Kincaid and the whole gang? 96 episodes. Knight Rider with Kit the Car. Look at that. 90 episodes. One of my favorites, Superman. 104 episodes. Now, we're only at the 100th episode, so we got to wait another 4 weeks before I get to be Superman. But, you know, everybody wants to be Superman. Yes, Superman, strange visitor from another planet with powers and abilities far beyond that of mere mortal men. Superman, able to change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Randy Senna, mild-mannered operator for a great metropolitan theme park, fights his never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way. Well, here we are with the 100th episode. So that's more than a lot of these shows, and we're going strong. But, you know, because it's the 100th episode, I got to change, you know. This is kind of a celebrity thing, right? So we'll take off the jacket, heavy with keys, and we'll just put on something that's easy. This is from Game Show when I used to do Flipper's Fascination, and it's a little fitting. It's a nice little tux with my sequins. I'm not going to wear my shirt and tie, but do you know Mr. Marvelous had one just like this? I had custom made, so he was wearing one also with the sequins. I think I have that Mr. Marvelous's suit on one of my mannequins downstairs. We'll check that out a little later. But you know, look, we're over by Mr. Marvelous. You know, he's always a big deal in my life. Do you remember the episode about Mr. Marvelous? Then I had to build around it and make my controllers to drive it and to run it. And I built Mr. Marvelous and his masterful system to connect with the Fascination game in order to do what I was doing. Now, I couldn't give him the live personality of when somebody walks in saying, "Hey, Bill, how you doing today?" Mr. Marvelous can't do that. But through the mechanisms of the Fascination, he certainly knew what you were doing playing the game, and he could address the situations as going on. He was able to not only account for amount of people playing, because the more people were playing, the more things had happened. He was able to control extra features and bonuses, turn them on, turn them off. He would announce that they're on, telling people to shoot for different specials. He would know if you hit them. He would announce what you got, the type of line you got, whatever the bonus board stopped on, the type of win you got. He would announce what's coming up. He kept track of time of day. He evaluated skill levels of players. He did everything. when people started playing with the wonders of Mr. Marvelous, people sometimes came in to play and they wanted Mr. Marvelous to run the game instead of me. I mean, he wasn't made to take over. He was there to run the game when I couldn't. If I dropped dead, he's there to take over. But it became a little bit of an issue. And, you know, I sometimes, you know, I'd give him the reign and let him run the game just so people could do it. I was like, you know, what am I going to do now? You know, so, I mean, then he would do some things sometimes that I didn't think necessary, you know, on it. So I had to carry remote control, stop it, you know, on the thing. So I could tell him, stop. You know, and we'd argue about it all the time. Became an issue. Became a little bit of a friction with us. But yeah, we're still friends. I'm like, stop. You know. My very first episode was on the metal typer machines. This is just one of them, but I have more. Do you remember that episode? So for all intent and purposes, I'm done. So I'll pull the right handle, and out it comes into the little dish. And there we have Randy, Wildwood, New Jersey. Up to 32 prints onto a disc, and that includes any spaces. I know I have 4. I think I have a 5th one that does not have a base that was, I picked it up from somebody and I figured, you know, parts if I ever need it. But, you know, as much as best laid plans of mice and men, you might buy something with the idea of parts, but I really hate to take parts out of one machine for another machine because you're killing the machine. It's like taking the heart and the kidneys and the lungs out of a machine for another machine. Now, I know sometimes it's unavoidable to keep things running, and people do that all the time in the industry, but I'm the guy who usually buys parts from other people to put back into machines where somebody started cannibalizing them. It's unfortunate. Everybody knows how much Disney stuff is involved with my life also. And I'm over by the OMN Movers. You remember the OMN Movers. And look, they're getting dusty too. Look what's going on. There's a little dust on the guy here. But even the OMN Movers kind of reminds me of the omnibuses. Do you remember those episodes? I mean, we're ready to go. I mean, you want to take a ride with me? We're going to start them up. Listen to that motor run. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, you want to take a peek under the hood? I bet you would. All right, let's see. Make sure we're not in gear here. I hear you. You don't mind, do you? Okay. And you have your standard internal combustion engine. It is a 6-cylinder, and it runs on propane, not gas. And Disney did that for a very special reason. They didn't want emissions and carbon monoxide for people who were walking up and down Main Street or along the World Showcase as the buses were going by to fill the air with choking gases. Everybody please sit back because we're going to be underway on the omnibus. Don't forget, folks, a little later on this evening at 9 o'clock and again at 11 o'clock, it's the Main Street Electrical Parade, right down Main Street, USA, followed by Fantasy in the Sky fireworks. And you know, if you know anything about me, you know Fascination's a big part of my life and my history of being in the amusement business. And we actually did 3 full episodes just on Fascination alone. Can you imagine? Well, what do you think of that, 23? He remembers just like me. I looked, where can I go? Where can I go? There were no spots for me to go to in Seaside. So I ended up having to move out. I did end up in Wildwood. But I had to take Seaside with me because I wasn't going to leave it behind. And I essentially did. The carpet I'm standing on is my carpet from Seaside. Fascination. The ceiling, that's my ceiling from Fascination at Seaside. The counters that are blocked with all the stuff you see on the walls, those are my showcase fixtures from Fascination at Seaside. The back wall with the paneling and the steps that have the shelves, those are the steps in the back wall from my Fascination at Seaside. Those glass doors, Those are my doors from Fascination in Seaside. It all came with me. And I set it up. It was going to be my little Fascination from Seaside here at the Retro Arcade Museum for all the things at Randyland. Here's 23, 24. My babies. And over here is the head of 23 and 24. Oh, it's protecting the switch plates. Here they are. How do you know? How do you know it's 20? Look. 23, 24. Ow! I hurt my finger again, another bloody tissue. You know, do you remember the last time I showed you a bloody tissue? I found it inside Mary Ann, my band organ. Yeah, that was one of the most popular episodes about Mary Ann and my bloody finger. Huh. Well, we want a continuous air, so there are two bellows, the bottom bellows and the top bellows. The top and the bottom are pretty stationary, held by brackets. The middle part is what goes up and down. So when it goes down, it's pressing air through the bottom bellows. When it comes up, it's pressing air through the top bellows. It's pretty interesting, pretty unique as it does that. And we have a port right here, which actually lifts. I can lift it. It's not easy to do, but yeah, there's a hole under it. And what that will do is for additional pressure that is unnecessary, it will actually push this up with the pressure of the air and allow it to leak out so you don't have too much. Oh, look, here's a souvenir. It's a bloody tissue from when Mary Ann got my finger. Oh, no. Oh, you have to keep that. That's a souvenir. That was great. But you know what else is great? Remember PacMan? Well, I've got my own PacMan, and I've got all this good stuff, and that's no bull. But do you remember the episode about the bull? The Matador! Dun, 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 la, la. Oh, ole! Here he comes the bull! Ole! Ole! Lump, 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 lump. Well, being in a bullish mood, I gotta show you my bull strength test game. Yes, he's over here. It is El Toro. Viva! Viva El Toro! This isn't a difficult concept. I mean, it's very simple. That's what you're doing. Grab the bull and you squeeze him. People can't do it. They're over here. And I'm watching the show. And depending upon who's doing it, I'll say, harder, harder, over the microphone. Squeeze, squeeze, just like you're on the toilet, squeeze. And I'll get them to laugh so that they can't do it. And then when they do it and they can't get it to budge an inch, I'll say, oh, you can do better than that. And they're looking around like, you gotta have fun in this business. And you know what? People have asked, yes, I really do have 500 mannequins made in my own image. And you know what? I also really do save my own hair. Remember? Let's show you a few Randy mannequins. Oh, we're standing right here next to a Randy mannequin. Now, you'll notice he's a little taller than I. Just a little bit. Now, it's not that I shrank, all right, but for whatever reason, the models that they used for the body frame were a little bit larger than life, and therefore he became a little larger. So here he is, Randy, smiling with the big smile. Look at those beautiful eyes, those beautiful baby blue eyes. Now my eyes are a bluish green. All right, so some of the eyes on the Randy mannequins are a little more bluish green than others, which are a little blue. And I guess that has to do with whichever, Chinese artist was sitting there and actually painting and mixing the colors for the eyes. But those eyes really are beautiful. Look how they have a little shine to it, and those eyelashes and the eyebrows. They really did a fantastic job. The Randy is depicted just right. I mean, how better could it be? Can't you see the resemblance? In recent years, particularly like the last 20, I've been saving my hair in popcorn tubs, you know, plastic tub you would get from caramel corn, and then you keep your hair in the tubs in order to save for the future. You always have to plan ahead so that someday Randy mannequins can have wigs made of real Randy hair. What could be better? You know, we did a lot of episodes on pinball machines. Pinball's always fun. I have hundreds of them. This is my first pinball. I remember that one, but we did a lot of pinball machines too. Wow, I remember them. So our Alpine Club was really special. Now my sister and I, because this was our first pinball, and we were kids, I was 11. We used to like to play together, but this is a single player machine. There's only one set of scores. Not all machines had the ability to play 2 players, 3 players where they'd alternate. So what we would do is we would play flippers. I would hold one side, usually the right side. My sister would hold the left side. Sometimes we'd switch. And we would play together like a team. So if the ball was coming on the left side, my sister would hit it. If it was on the right side, I would hit it. We'd go back and forth. And we did this in arcades also, and it stretched our money. We got to play more games for the money we had to spend. We had a lot of fun. And also the bond together, the togetherness, the family togetherness. Now everybody's got to have their own. Well, you didn't back then. You shared and you had a good time, and it was great. You could do it with your mother and father, play flippers. I love this game. I just got an extra ball. I love my Black Knight, honest and truly. Mwah. I'm gonna get the extra ball because I love that music. You ready? Music to my ears. Oh, I went down the trap. Did you see the secret passage? I went down the secret passage. You missed it, didn't you? And you know, I always loved the rifle games in the arcades also. And this was my first one, the dogfight. I think we did some episodes on the rifle games, didn't we? At least some of them. I don't remember, did we? Can you imagine spending all that money to buy an antique Crook saloon and you didn't get the deluxe? People would be devastated over this. This one is the deluxe. You know, it would be nice, I guess, if you also had one of the regular ones so you could, you know, someday have them side by side, you could see the difference. Yes, I have one of the regular ones too, because when I was a kid in Seaside, they had one in Casino Arcade and one in the Carousel Arcade on opposite ends of the boardwalk. The 2 big arcades with merry-go-rounds. One was a deluxe and one was a regular. And I played them both. And eventually, I bought them both because I love them. I love them in pieces. Yes, my tail perp gun. I love them. This was a rapid-fire automatic. You just pulled the trigger back once and held it back, and it would go. And it doesn't take long to shoot 100 rounds from an automatic machine gun. So you would be shooting at your target, and it's over. So when you put your coin in, this is really fun. This is a special feature. Now you hear this? When you put the coin in, the first coin,
you're still a few coins shy.
It plays music, and it tells you,
well there, you're still a few coins shy.
It tells me I'm a few coins shy. Now the best feature about this,
well there, you're still a few coins
is
shy.
when you get somebody come over and they don't read that it's 8 coins, and they put 1 quarter in there because they want to play for 1 quarter, and then they see they got to put in 7 more quarters, and they say, oh, I'm not putting in 7 more quarters for that. Come on, kid. They pull them away. Then I can listen to this for the next
You're still
millennium,
Bitcoin shy.
because it doesn't stop saying that until it gets the rest of the coins. Time is up. They won. Eastside. You're cool, gunman. Yeah. The Goon Bird. Oh, everybody loved the Goon Bird. You see him up there? He's sitting on the handle of a water pump. So you'd shoot the Goon Bird, and the water pump would go up and down, and his wings would flap, and the water would come out of the pump going into the trough, and he would go, ah, 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 as a Goon Bird would go. I do a good Goon Bird, don't I? Here you have a traffic light, all right? And you would shoot that target, and the light would turn red. There'd be another target under there. The light would turn yellow, another target under there. The light would turn green. So, you know, all the odd things. There's another kind of a bird up there. See him hiding up there? Another bird. The Randy heads are just something I added because I was going to add the Randy theme in order to go along with the Bonanza shooting gallery. But, you know, all these fun targets would be spread all around. And if I were to set this gallery up today, I would need the entire area where I have Fascination set up now. The entire area. So I can't set up a Bonanza shooting gallery unless I have an amusement park or an amusement pier or a giant super Walmart, New Jersey State Amusements Museum, all these things. Well, you know, 6 months ago it was my birthday, and some friends stopped over at the arcade on the boardwalk and they brought me a birthday cake. So now we have the birthday cake from 6 months ago as part of my collection with the rest of my birthday cakes. Do you remember the episode about my birthday cakes? So you will see on the table that we have some of the Randy's birthday cake collection that is still sitting here from birthdays gone by. Now you'll notice that some birthdays were more cake eaten than other birthdays. Like the top one on the right there, there's really only one large piece of cake that's left. So that was saved. Okay, the one below that has probably double that size. But here you have birthday cakes that are almost in their entirety. So we saved a good portion, and of course if you got on the top you could probably read, it's probably blurred with the expansion of color from the icing, but it would say happy birthday Randy, that's still on it. And probably that cake was saved more because it was chocolate dough. You know, traditionally we always liked the vanilla dough, so probably it was not as desirable to eat as other cakes were. And the other one below it looks like it's a marbleized. It's either half and half because I see the dark dough and I see the light dough. It might have been marbleized. That might have been one of the reasons. It's another one that wasn't eaten in its complete entirety. But of course, they maintain the candles on them. And you see how the color kind of spreads on that top one there in the back. The color has dripped down into the white and you see the blue. So you must save your traditions. There are birthday cakes that go back many, many decades. I mean, this is only one little section of birthday cakes, and they're piled back there on the dining room table. And, you know, we have some still in the refrigerator. And people, for some odd reason, I really don't understand why, but for some reason, people do not think that they should save their birthday cake too. I mean, isn't it a natural thing? I mean, doesn't everybody save their birthday cake? Peekaboo! I'm over by my Peep show machines. You know, I even dragged out a few more of them from the deep archives. You know, they got a lot of episode viewing on the Peep shows. People were curious. They like those dirty movies in those Peep shows. I wonder why. Huh. What's that? Is that a P? Now, this is kind of scraped away. People show. That's what it was, a people show. No, it was a Peep show, you degenerates. That's right, it was a Peep show. They had dirty films in there. Maybe that really wasn't a Woody Woodpecker film. Do you think that really was a Woody Woodpecker film in there? I don't know. That's going to be a mystery. I don't think that's Woody Woodpecker at all. What could it be? Oh, Hollywood showgirls and movies. Look, 4 parts and in color. This is a more modern machine, whereas this one is a earlier one. As a kid, did I ever go in the back and look at the dirty movies? Well, I did go back there because I wanted to see what was back there, and I saw that the machines were there. And I certainly had my dimes from playing skee-ball, but you know what? Try as I may, I couldn't see through that viewfinder. And I was like, you know, trying on tippy toes on a box, I couldn't see Thank God, and I'm using the word literally because I probably would have seen real But no, I did not get to see the movies. How about that? Well, that was really great, and it's been so much fun doing these 100 episodes that time just went by like nothing. I can't imagine how many more can we do? Will it be another 50? Another 100? We could be doing these things forever. What will be next? I guess we'll have to spin the arrow and find out for ourselves. Meanwhile, you can go back and check out those old episodes again because they're all on the Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. Just go to the Randy's Collection series. You'll see them all that great stuff. Well, thanks for joining us on our special edition of the 100th anniversary. And we'll see you next time. 100 episodes. God, I'm old.
A lifetime of collecting.
It really is. But it gives me joy just to see it. Gives me a feeling of satisfaction that I know it's not gone. Even if it's not in use, it's here. I know where it is.